is nice. It's a nice small little group we have, but it looks like our regulars and some really good poets out there. Just the fair, we've decided that the fair. Wow, it's not fair. If somebody asked me, Jan actually asked about how Freshly Brewed got started and open mics and stuff like that. It started out during COVID when there was nothing really being able to do with poetry. There was no open mics, and people were just kind of floundering. And a friend of mine came up with an idea with Larry's coffee, that he said, coffee and poetry go together. So we organized a page on his website because he was doing things with dance and doing things with other art stuff. So I said, well, can we post poems on there? So people would send in poems and they would list them, and then once a month we would pick a featured reader, and then every third month we would have a live event. And we did it outside because of COVID, and invited these people to read, or if they were from out of town, I would read it. And actually, if you go on Larry's Coffee, there's a couple of, they did film a couple of them, so if you want to go back, CK was actually on those. It's like, it's so funny, I remember going, oh yeah, never seen her on there, that was so cool. So she's been coming for a long, long time. So eventually we got too big for the bandwidth. And and then we were having trouble with the events because we were doing it on the weekends and they didn't have people. So we broke away, and I started on Facebook because I'm a boomer, I still like Facebook. But I'm working on the Instagram stuff, so I do like TikTok. But so I've got a couple of things going on that stuff. But then we just started doing open mic stuff. And Dennis asked me one time, says, why do you do this? And I go, I don't know, it drives me crazy. And they go, why do I do this to myself? I'm an introvert. But it's just hard. I just want to make sure everybody's happy and having a good time. So that was it, pretty much basically. Not something, but somebody encouraged me to do it, and I think I've found what I'm comfortable doing. So thank you. Thanks for asking all that. So with that going, Freshly Brewed Poems. We also have one on the first Saturday. It's at Crave Barbecue on Overland. It's during the afternoon, which makes it nice for people that are, who are afraid of the night. You can come out and, do some poetry during the day. We had a really, really cool, like last time we had a really young guy here, remember him? I don't know if you ever, anybody was here that was here. That saw him, you saw him, yeah. He was great, amazing, And then we had another young fellow. His mother found us on somewhere, and he brought him down, and he just blew us away. So if you can go back and see some of that live event, you can and scroll through and see him. He's up and coming. I'm so excited that he chose us to come do his first reading. So hoping he will remember us. I also have another thing to tell you about. There's a group called Heron Clan. I don't know if anybody knows about Heron Clan. I've got a couple of their books. It's an anthology. They're actually on their 10th or 11th. I actually don't really remember. But it's an anthology. We've got people, Shelby Stevenson, who's a poet laureate, in there, and some amazing people. He's actually changed his, he's looking for submissions. And you submit 3 poems, unpublished poems, and he'll choose one or all 3, put them in the anthology, and you get a free book from it, and your opportunity to buy 5 more. There's other things with it, because one time a group of the poets went to Ireland. We have Irish poets in there too as well. The book itself is really, really good. So I have a couple of samples over there. So if you want the information about sending your poems in, it's a really good place to start, especially if you haven't published yet, something like that. It's really good. So, Heron Clan. All right, so this is my submission for Heron Clan. So that was my introduction. So this is what I'm going to send down. And this one is called Yellow Wings. Light reflecting up through leaves, reflects up from still water, carried up through the wings of the tree, fluttering, flapping. Rooted in its decaying bed, its leaves float off in the airy light. catching the yellow-winged air on its yellowing fingers. Colored painted nails in orange and lime green, the tree waves farewell to its freed feathers. I did that one really quick. Yeah. And don't be ever afraid, like we were someplace and somebody said, "We should read that again," because I just didn't hear it, didn't understand it. This one's a long poem. It's about what it's about. So this one's All You Can Eat. It was an all-you-can-eat Mussels Monday. Vintage wallpaper reminiscent of pulled-down light-filled plaster in college town apartments of our youth hovered over our table. We were younger, much older, far past that now, and I looked and sat and looked at that wallpaper. Diamonds of turquoise outlined with gold fleur-de-lis, truly ugly, but magical in this hidey-hole restaurant. Laughing, eating mussels, breaking the record of bowls ordered, silly, fun, full, sinfully contemplating another round, he said, I've been thinking about this lady I'm working with, and I think there's more to it, and I want to be open to pursue it. He said that as I decided the wallpaper was going to be permanently indelible in my mind's eye. Just as the taste of garlic sauce, lamb wine sauce would smack of rejection. Innocent mussels cut off the floor of the ocean or riverbed or wherever the fuck they lived their fucking happy lives before they came to bear witness to his emotional infidelity. Not bound to her, under no obligation at all, except friendship and the sharing of a bed winding down a 6 or 7 year long love affair. They had settled into a coupling, monogamous and exclusive, knowing he wanted to flee. Time again his scorpion sting would break. But grandiose ideas faded, and he'd return, and she'd take him in, and they'd sit and watch Jeopardy by the artificial fireplace. Battery candles flickered, and fruit flies fluttered. I don't want to read that part. Is that okay?
No.
Yeah. Here though tonight, with the mussels shells piled, the sauce glistening and greasy on the dark wood table, concrete floor on abstract art in gray. He said he had to look and see where it led. She keenly took notice of its similarity to the designer scarf around his neck. Is there a way to let the air out of your soul so many times that it is no longer can be filled again? Placid. Yeah. This poem. Staring at the hideous, I sit there and think about it. I've got to rewrite this one. Yeah. Okay. So he said, it's not you, it's me. You mean I'm not the you need, so yeah, it's me. Staring at the hideously mid-century color, eating mussels my mid-century parents brought me up on, being dumped by a mid-century born bald man to pursue an unshareable dream I was never invited to dream. Allowed to do that, aren't I? Because like I said, I'm rewriting this one I'm writing this one to submit, and I'm thinking, okay, that one didn't work. So, thank you. I'll let y'all read it. But this one, I'm going to stop there and let Jan put up, come up, yeah. Oh, wait a second, actually, I apologize, it's Sam.
It is
yes.
Sam, yeah, it's Sam.
I was just worried about your cats at home.
It's okay, I have till 7:45.
Okay. We're on a time limit here. Yay. Okay. All right. That's what I like about your group. This group, I can make a fool of myself. Did you sign up? Oh, I've got paper.
I hope you didn't make a fool of yourself.
You don't hurry?
I have. Test. Hello. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Jan should have gone, so I wasn't really yet ready. I might do
I'm sorry.
like Debbie did and halfway read a poem and start over.
We're a small, friendly group, right? Yeah.
Right. So I'll start with a happy poem. I've creatively titled it more often now than before, which also happens to be the first line. More often now than before, in the distance, I see a speck of light, faintly through miles of fog. It is my destination, someday. But not today. Today it is behind me still in the far recesses of my time. Wherever it is, the I am who is me truly resides. But I'm aware of its eventuality and see it clearly as I gaze upon those and then here around me now, my love, my wife, my sons, my dwindling hope. As life appears more often and clearer on the days when I forget the drive, when I relax and accept that the heavy stones I turned through my prime didn't reveal that which I sought, that something. Accepting that they never will deliver that for which I searched. The earth never fed me nor quenched my thirst, not in the riches nor the accolades that didn't stick. Instead, that faint light followed me. It torments me still. Why so much more than the bright one warms, I wonder, as I reach wearily for one more mighty stone. Sometimes I forget what I'm doing. So I said to myself, sometimes I forget what I'm doing when I'm not doing anything at all. You know what I mean? How can that be? You aren't doing anything to forget about. Yeah, but I was doing something before I was not doing anything, so I had to stop. What was I doing then? I mean, right before I stopped, I forget. I read a sign once, warning, don't try to remember everything at once. It affects the waves. Mind your head. That was always one of my favorites. Yeah? Is it saying listen to your head and do what it tells you, or watch out for things that might hit you in the head? Like an errant thought? Or a low ceiling? A shooting star? Like Johnny after he heard his first Beatles song? No? Like from the cosmos? Yeah, like that. But sometimes I forget about all of that when I'm right smack dab in the middle of doing absolutely nothing. And then all I'm doing is trying to remember what I was doing when I was doing nothing. Like looking at sand on the beach and then noticing one particular grain and seeing it for what it truly is when it stands alone, and seeing it as it has always been and as it is right then and will be. And then, at that moment, you realize you forgot about the stars. Like when God notices you? Yeah, I guess it's like that, but what was he doing when he wasn't doing anything? And realized he forgot what he was doing when he noticed. Me. Watching the waves, probably. Yeah, minding his head. Yes, probably minding his head. I'm going to get back to what I was doing, which is absolutely nothing.
I love it.
We're doing 3, right?
Mm-hmm. I choked.
All right. There's a branch. There's a branch that lives deep in the wood attached to a tree that used to be good. It has bends and crooks as it should, and the dried remains of a vine circling, but causing no harm, like the scar from a lover who exceeded her charm. But this is a branch, not a tattooed arm, and it's deep in the wood, feeling as good as it could, as it were being attached to a tree that's no longer good. There's no nest in its reach, just some leaves at the end, past 17 twigs, past the last bend. All that it lacks and longs for is a friend to laugh with and linger over foresty tales like the winter of rain and the summer of gales, and squirrel quarrels and snakes down below, and this and that and old so-and-so. And they'd whisper and chuckle and smile and pretend they didn't notice their drying as their leaves fell toward the end. Thank you.
Now it's Jan's. Jan and I know each other through our Readers Theater group, the Other People group.
You're still lively, even though we're older.
Yeah.
All right.
Senior, I never thought I'd say theater and senior center in the same sentence.
I think this one will probably follow the one that you just
read for us pretty well, but I need all of you to do something first to get ready for this. I need you to be in the mindset of being outside. Whether you close your eyes or just do it, but be outside, walking down a path, looking around, really feel you're out there with the earth. You're outside. The views, the colors, the smells, the sounds. On this planet, everything lives. Everything dies. Everything changes. Every leaf, every tree, every grasshopper, every owl, every deer, every tomato, every blade of grass, every grain of rice, every blob of wax, every rock, every cloud, every dark ocean fish, every bear, every butterfly, every cockroach, every bit of metal, drop of water, every human being, every sparrow. All are made of cells that are made of atoms that are made of energy. We are all atoms made of energy that changes. We are all together in the process of change. So why have humans felt the need for heaven or hell or other conceived options of after we die? We'll just be changing, not unlike the atoms of the chair that you're sitting in. Why do we forget that we are not different? If we remember, will we be more compassionate? And I just have one more.
That's amazing. I love that. See, my list is somewhere. Pete. It's over here. Excuse me. Oh, no. I'll do this. Dennis. We have Dennis, who's also the event coordinator of Barroom Beckett. So she's going to tell us about Ballroom.
Sure.
No,
You tell me when
maybe you should try Ballroom Beckett. Maybe you should try Ballroom Beckett.
Maybe I should try
I
it.
called it
Alter
Ballroom.
ego
I called
or
it
something?
Ballroom Beckett instead of Ballroom Beckett.
Oh, ball.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, hello.
Need help with, yeah.
I'm semi-hard of hearing, so can you guys hear me clearly?
Yes.
Excellent, that's wonderful. Oh, I guess you get to decide if it's wonderful. All right, this piece is entitled Reunion. Every evening, as the heat of day waned, he rose from his slumber to take up his vigil near the torn curtain window, watchful, waiting for the night that was sure to come. As the moon rose higher, whether seen or unseen, he peered more intently into the darkness, hoping to see her emerge, at first a shadow, from the tree line far off. Yet she never came. Days turned to weeks, weeks into years. Clouds of age dimmed his eyes, weakened his gaze. He grew frail from a now too frequent fast. Still, every evening, as the heat of day waned, he rose from his slumber, till one evening he rose no more. That same night she emerged, at first a shadow, him at her side, and both were never seen more. this is for 2 voices. I only got one sheet of paper.
Maybe second. Okay.
So, do that. Lay that in state, so.
Okay.
And time.
Okay.
No problem.
Perfect.
And so you're just asking this question.
Okay. Size?
Oh, Nemo Creek. Not but the wind on a brisk forward eating.
Tears?
Nemo shore. Not but rain seeping through untended thatch.
Smile?
Oh, Nemo room. Not but a firelight shadow on an aged face.
Will you stay with me?
Oh, ne'er will I leave you, North Will. At Bridget's well I will lay you down. On Samhain's eve I will keen thee there. On Columbkille's stone I will take my place, and naught will pass my lips, till God, in his mercy, grants our wish. So we can do another?
Yeah.
Okay, this is titled Man in the Echo. Now, that may sound familiar to you all since William Butler Yeats wrote it. But I'm only doing the first stanza. And the second part of this, because it's a 2-part poem, is called A Reply. And that was me. So, I'm going to try to recite this as opposed to read it, although I got my cheat sheet. In a cleft that's christened off, under broken stone I halt at the bottom of a pit that broad moon's light has never lit, and shout a secret to the stone. All that I have said and done, now that I am old and ill, turns into a question till I lay awake night after night, and the answers never come right. Did that play I wrote send men out, certain men at the British shop? Did my words put too much strain on that woman's reeling brain? Could my spoken words have checked that whereby a house lay wrecked? And all seems evil till I, sleepless, would lay down and die. Would lay down and die. A reply. I asked the sum of the IRA, men and women, all had had their say. I asked the sum of Sinn Féin's ranks, and of others, no less forceful, but who no less drank from freedom's cup and its heady draught. Was it Willie's words that sent you out an early grave on your dying days? Or did they give naught but voice to deeds of heart done on those who passed away? And here is what I heard them say. Rest easy, dearest Willie. Rest easy.
Can you tell us about your, what you're doing with Yates?
Oh.
Because it's next
Yeah.
month.
I get, yeah, it's a good segue actually. So on November 14th, right here, from 7 to when we're done, which is around 9, we're doing a thing called Barroom Beckett. And so we will do a little Sam Beckett. These are performances, not readings. They're not signed up they're signed up way in advance because the people who are going to do this stuff know they're going to do it. It's absolutely free. There's a bar. so it's hard to argue, you know. Nice room. Anyway, why the 14th of November, a Tuesday, is because that happens to be the 100th anniversary to the day that William Butler Yeats was awarded the Nobel Prize. So we're calling it the Yeats Centenary Celebration, and there will be William Butler Yeats poems. There will be a piece by Samuel Beckett, Rockabye, which is an amazingly spooky, beautiful play, short play of his. But there will be other pieces, some sung, just a variety of things done by talented people from around the triangle. So you're all welcome to come. It's absolutely free. And it's Tuesday, the 14th of November, 7 p.m. right here.
He totally transforms this in here. Kind of closes off all the windows, and it just really looks like you're in a theater setting. Yeah. Dennis and Justin, you ready? Yeah. And then we got Devin. You're Denver, right?
Yes.
Okay. Got the wrong. Did you want to come Well, at the end, when it's time for our break, I'll ask you. How's that? Okay. Justin, Mike, how are you?
This should be fine. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. I have a short story for you guys, and I usually print these off because my eyes are really bad, even to be 27, so. But I'm reading from my phone today, sorry. It's called A Mother's Love. It was a warm summer morning. The little girl's eyes fluttered open as the sunlight streamed in through her open blinds. She was slow to rise, but eventually she rolled out of bed. She washed her face, brushed her teeth, and paid no attention to her messy head of hair. She put on a pair of shorts and her favorite shirt. Without hesitation, without saying a word to anyone in the house, she went to the only place where she felt she could control things. She gently closed the back door behind her as she escaped to her backyard. The little girl hadn't mastered much in her short life, but she had already learned how to hate the world. She detested the mean girls at school. She disliked her brothers who constantly found new ways to aggravate her. She resented the taste of the nasty vegetables her parents insisted that she eat. But most of all, she hated the fact that it seemed like no one seemed to know she was silently suffering. It's hard being 7 years old. While the girl experienced difficulties, they weren't due to any fault of her own. She was a kind girl and fairly quiet. She didn't give adults an ounce of trouble, and she more or less tried to mind her own business. She was very keen as far as 7-year-olds go. She always made good grades and was the first to understand all and had a pure heart. She enjoyed seeing good things happen to others whenever she could. She loved to laugh and smile. All the more reason for her to be baffled when she discovered that others didn't desire to treat her the way she treated them. This troubled her deeply. She sat down next to the garden of flowers that took up a portion of her backyard. She crossed her legs and drew little pictures of the dirt with her fingers as she pondered over the important issues. Why did everyone have to be so mean all the time? Why did everyone have to be so annoying? Why was she forced to eat broccoli against her will? No matter how hard she mulled over these profound questions, she never seemed to come close to the answers she was seeking. Maybe such truths were beyond the scope of her limited mind. While the world vexed her, there was one aspect of it that shined even brighter than the sunlight on a summer morning. A voice sweeter than pure sugar, a touch softer than cotton, and a scent more pleasing than lavender. There's only one person in existence who could have, among other things, all of these qualities. Mom. The girl's mother came through the back door and walked toward her daughter near the garden. Who gave you permission to come out here, young lady? She asked. The little girl looked at her approaching mother, knowing by the smirk on her mother's face that she wasn't in trouble at all. Nobody, the girl answered. She rose up slowly from the ground and embraced her mother, hugging her with all the strength the child could muster. The mother hugged back. As they hugged, their souls spoke to one another. The girl's soul conveyed how much pain she was in emotionally and how it needed extra love and support. And the mother's soul replied that it understood the girl's pain and everything would be okay. The girl broke away from their hug and plucked a flower from the garden. She looked up at her mother, preparing herself to ask the question she had asked no less than 100 times. "May I?" the girl asked. Knowing that she wouldn't take no for an answer, the mother smiled and bowed her head a bit. "Yes, you may." The little girl placed the flower in the mother's hair, tucking it away safely so that it wouldn't fall out. And she embraced her mother in another tight hug with tears streaming down her face. Maybe the world wasn't such a bad place after all. Thank you.
You have another one? You have another? Okay. Cool. CK, I forgot to, you go ahead, 'cause then we'll have Denver. Denver, yeah. Is that what the name was?
Hey y'all, I'm CK. I know most of you, but for those of you I don't, I'm super happy that you came out. I just put out a book last week. It's called Thank You. And I want to give such a special thank you to Debbie because she's up here earlier and said I've been coming a long time, but in reality it has only been like a year. And it was because that I first came to Freshly Brewed that I was like, oh, there's people for this, and like I can go out and do this, and that is a big reason why I did this. So, big thanks to Debbie for continuing to make spaces like this. I feel like most of the time.
Good catch.
Try that again. I think I do a lot of reciting as opposed to reading, but there are lots in this book that are not in my reciting memory, and that I would still really like to share with you guys. So I'm going to do one of those. First, I'm going to find it. It is called Out in the Daylight, and if you don't know, October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and my book is pretty heavy in theme. It's mental health, substance abuse, domestic violence, all of that really fun stuff. And this one, I feel like, is one that really centers on that theme. It's kind of a compilation of a lot of stories that I either was close to or knew about or were mine, and so I'm going to read that one. One day he'll kill me. It won't make the news, but some version of the truth will get told to you. He was a good man, she made him snap, he'll get out in a year, she won't get years back. And one day he'll kill me. You'll all see it coming, stand at my funeral, and say you did nothing. He'll travel through the night and cross state lines, he'll stand at my doorway, you'll stand by his side, and one day he'll kill me. Statistics aren't in my favor, he's loading the gun, you're finding ways to blame her. Why does she take it? Why doesn't she leave? How good of a girl could she really be? And one day he'll kill me. He's already been taught how to talk his way out of a knock from the cops, and I am screaming at the top of my lungs. They're wishing him good night. I heard them tell him good luck. And he wants to break my legs, and not in that pre-show ritual way, in the way that stuns me into place, hands me a grenade, and leaves the building. You do understand that one day he will kill me. I was supposed to look up to him, but now I can't look away. He is always there, and I am not feeling safe. And friends of friends, he knows everybody, and I am in the hamster wheel running. I'm trying to look busy. Would anyone notice if I went missing? And one day he'll kill me. Scatter my ashes out in the daylight. You'll know it's happening. They say he's grieving my death, an arc for his story. They say loss does not come with a warning, except I told you. She told you. One day he would kill her. It might be unclear who pulled the trigger, but as she leaves, her hands are as clean as they will ever be. You'll paint her nails from all the bleeding, dress her up in the wounds he gave her, pour a glass of liquor, toast to her memory and the ones that killed her. I'm gonna do one more. Sorry, I think I'm screaming.
Sorry.
That is a little more on a positive note. So the way that the book is structured is a lot, it's very intentional. The first section is kind of about like childhood and where you grew up, and the second section is sort of about how that can inform the relationships that you pursue. And then the third section is about like when you try to actually fix those things and how chaotic that can be. And then the fourth side is like what it looks like to get on the other side of those things. So it's not all super dark, just a lot of it. This one is called Living. I am healed, whole, and so much different. I swear to God that I am living. I watch the plate in my microwave spinning. I'm stopping for ice cream. I'm doing my laundry. I'm doing things without hoping someone will stop me. I'm moving my body. I'm getting more rest. I'm paralyzed, but not staying in. I found a way to write again. I'm expressing myself, letting my feelings be felt, letting my dog keep the secrets I tell. We go for a walk. I'm feeling the wind. I got no complaints about this place I'm in. I get up with my alarm. It's a song I like. I'm learning how to be on my own side. I'm planning trips. I'm going on dates. I'm okay with this world. I found my place. And it's not always exciting, but it's not always boring. I'm getting myself out of bed in the morning. I'm making breakfast. I stopped kicking rocks. I'm giving it all a fair shot. I'm reading books. I'm listening to the ocean, going back in time so I can show it to a younger me and watch her eyes light up. I'm finding meaning in the hard stuff. I'm giving my life poetic justice. I let myself see the art in all of it. I'm keeping appointments. I'm not grasping at straws. I know the difference between correlation and cause. My expectations are managed, but they're still high. I am living. This life is mine. My book is on Amazon. If you are interested, I do have a little card, but no pressure.
Ooh, it's cool. Is your thing tomorrow, is that open for everybody? Is that
I think it's like up front.
And I think, didn't you come when we were at Larry's though? Just the one time, but we only did it like one time inside, so I remember that one. So
That's like 2 years ago.
that was 2 years ago, so that's what, yeah, I totally remember. So I was going through some of the old page things, and I said, oh, there she is. And we have, Denver, have you been with us before?
No. I mean, I've been in the audience for one of them.
Oh, cool.
Some San
Awesome.
Diego readings.
We always like to get people from the audience. I'm looking right at Brittany. And Helen.
It's kind of breakneck crossing over.
Yeah, well, that's great. That's what we do. Oh. Sorry. We need a little bit more. We're going to adjust it here. Unless you're good at catching the microphone, so
I don't think so. Well, after following that excellent verse, I realized I forgot to hide most things. This one, sometimes there are parking disputes and cleanups in aisle threes that result in metaphysical and pataphysical complications. And is that your car? She comes in gallstone livery, face scrubbed chlorine raw, lipstick cracked pink vermilion, finding kindnesses to dispose of, chirping catastrophe with the weather, gumming about this starburst summer, mouthing Sunday sentences, pyrite fantasies, sexual extinction, taking the time out of how it goes, a principled fidelity, coal black. A new car, your father's. An old car, your sister's again. Your brother's, yours, something to take care of. Through the pigeonholes of rooms lobotomized, pale pink, powdered blue. Oh no, I've lost my page, I'm so sorry.
it's okay.
I've lost my second
It's
page,
okay.
it's in the car. I'll read you this other one, I have the complete version on this. This is advice from the Damasquerade. Thursday was impossible, the writing on the wall, the lilac bindings of the folders bent, the crimson evidence tampered and incoherent, machines of cruel conceit and terrible aspect did shake the vessel and rattle its timber. Between you and sebaceous smudge of sea. Point 7. See here where occipital crest wrapped hard against window pane. Slap, slop. See how it hangs a portrait of the downs with mossy aspect. Intro to point 6. White beard whiskers, firework desires, corporeal accounts in arrears, slimed screens slewing, future slacked from pregnant houses, velvet, abandoned to cortical folds, in placentic crisis of interior, the serpentine countertop, marble starvation, as the white van drives down the gray driveway. Now on to point 5, to press the pulse. Insurance, against said party, against whomsoever hereafter, the porcelain assurances of the deceased, cosmic names of brassy obverse ornament, force majeure, sand shape of rancid star load, skulls of upturned fish, their gray, greeny silk shape confirming. Point 4, which shall hereby be known in perpetuity as point 9. Friday would never end, fingers playing on table, schools of more screeny eyes slewing dark liquid futures, slacked into birthplace, was a pregnant house, insured, again, against whosoever hereafter. Objectless attributes, the lacquered black reflection of the deal table, against the living, hereafter referred to as trustees, intestate, revanchist rates bargaining against the violent hemisphere of evening, here where it slammed into the pane with the red bus's sirens breaking heaven's peace, and you, watching from the cold blue kitchen and ancient tile, clutching the starvation sill, whitewash cloth clean and clean. Point 10, and when the burnished night of molten insects and honey voices, blue burning paper mingling with wood ash, intestate, redacted, cancelled, and from other rooms laughter. Come you darlings of bedside manner, coterie of gentlest sneeze, see Bactrian camels spiderized through butterfly eyelashes. The retinue artfully lingers the parasol over your lily bed, to tuliped and columbine heart tangles, to wake upon a sleek blue marble slab of ichor, of pluck strung unfunction, your laundry list verifying reality dwindling. When the lost keys, the wallpaper, the lacquered cabinets, the nightmare in the closet and the nightmare, and how 4 a.m. creeps as sinister as a starfish to refuse fear itself, and the bullet hovering over asphalt, the crimson cool and yellow of a clement climate, and the ringing landline, the sick on the pieball slab, and its black antidote, the swirl of the baby's hair, citrus guilt from the vinyl bag, and the nightmare in the closet, and the trees swaying, inhales miasma deodorized, as wearied gulls swoop over landless seas, as the figures painted by Rembrandt move through irradiated thunderclouds, the filament of approaching termination, the birds of paradise and the deficiency in your bones, the feathers, and all the trash piling up, shall lie, and from that infinity, the dead are jealous of her segment. Sunday was a lost cause. Now point 11. When I was young, I dreamed of climbing stars, asteroids, and galaxies amid the greeny tendril-touching trees in the forest where no one would take notice if you fell and made no sound. I hear the ringing of the bells, clamorous, the trumpets in my brain, in moldered coliseums spread clay with imperial eagles. Get me there to that heaven, those cool indigo sheets, houses painted with purple sleep, 'tis crimson and sickly respite. Get me to columbine heart tangle, to pluck strung unfunction, to slapless strings where dolmen fall in cortical form, where lanterns lend their failing flame, that spans the gate in rhomboid of morning light, amid labyrinth of minioned guts in remote spurlonge. There, when the distant waves come crashing like thunder, will I find you again in blue marbled sickness, in lagooned repose, by bruised and jaundiced estuaries, with the seagulls flapping dumbly, my love.
You're welcome. Well, this is where we would take a break. Did anybody come in that I didn't notice? Or Brittany, did you want to? Or Helen? Helen, did you want to do anything? We're going to have a break and do a second round if you want.
Let's take a break.
Okay, we're going to take a break. Did I miss anybody in the first round? Good.
I think somebody just came in.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want to?
Oh, take a break.
You just, well, we did get somebody that came from the audience, and so be prepared that that's going to happen. We all of a sudden get this move. Cool. Let's take a little bit of break now.
I'm tired.
She's going to go.
Take
I
care
have
of
a
it.
diabetic cat. I have to feed him at a certain time, but give him his insulin at a certain time. Thanks for coming. But he purrs.
Yeah. So stick around. We'll come back here about a little bit after 8 and start a second round if anybody's interested. So, all right, cool. And I'm going to give you guys a break, and we'll do a second one, right?